What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Next Gen Career Mode. This is episode number 107, and we start today's episode off with a game against FC St. Pauli here, a newly promoted side to the Bundesliga. And I got to be honest, these guys have really nice kits. I love their home kit. It looks absolutely delicious. It's like a nice sort of chocolatey kind of feel to it, with a nice little red stripe in it. But yeah, we take on FC St. Pauli, and it's no real surprise to see they haven't even got off to a very good start at all, as they are a newly promoted side. And with the Bundesliga in career mode, it's quite odd, but the teams that get relegated tend to get promoted the next season, and then relegated, and then promoted. It's like an endless cycle of the same clubs getting relegated and promoted, and this is one of them. But we take on here at the Olympiastadion, fully expecting to win. And I mentioned this in the last episode, but one of the reasons I signed Boateng and one of the reasons I love him so much is because he has my favourite trait in the game, the giant throw-in trait. I've loved it for years. It is so fun to use. And Boateng gets our first giant throw-in goal of the series. Well, Lasogga actually gets the goal, but, you know, you credit it to Boateng for that amazing throw. He angles it perfectly. It's too difficult for the goalkeeper to get to. Lasogga, the 6'2" beast in the air, he's always going to win the header against the FC St. Pauli defender. He makes it 1-0, and again, I'm just so happy I've got Boateng, man, with that giant throw-in trait. It's just, you know, anyone who watched my FIFA 13 career mode will know that I loved it with Willems, and I loved it with Equator. Of course, he's now only got a long throw trait, but still, I just love the giant throw-in trait, and it's just so fun to use. And I thought, you know, in the 34th minute, I want another throw-in, I'll do it again. And the goalkeeper was struggling so much, he just about got the ball away here, but all I was doing was just launching the giant throw-ins to the box to give the goalkeeper trouble. Hummels almost scored from the corner, but unfortunately it was still 1-0. But that was genuinely my game plan, win throw-ins and launch them into the box, but it was still 1-0. And the 41st minute here, we go down the right hand side. Kevin Volland collects it, takes on Andre Pinto here, puts the ball into the centre. Flume is up there and shoots and scores. And I said in the last episode as well, Flume gets himself forward a lot, which is not a real surprise, having a high attacking work rate as well as a high defensive work rate, but he gets himself into really good areas. He doesn't just run forward aimlessly. He gets into really good areas, and he got into one there and scored as well. So 2-0. And in 56th minute here, another great chance. Lasogga gets past his man, shoots, but it's a good save by the goalkeeper, and he keeps it at 2-0 as things stood in the 56th minute. And an injury time in the 90th minute, with the game being closed out, we did go ahead and score that third goal. Hummels got it from a corner. We crossed the ball in, and he takes out Marco Reus with a slide tackle. But yeah, it was a deflection as well. He headed the ball. It took a brief deflection, looped up in the air, went over the goalkeeper, and the poor man on the line, he just wasn't tall enough and couldn't jump high enough to get it away. So Hummels makes it 3-0, and it was how the game would finish. So Hertha Berlin 3, FC St. Pauli 0. Very good win, very happy with it. And again, the giant throw in, it was just really pleasing to score one goal with it. What can I say? I'm sure I won't score any more, but it was still really funny. But following that, we saw that Barcelona had rejected a bid for Draxler again. They want £25.5 million, so we said to Barcelona, we'll give you 20 million, which I think is fair. I mean, he's a really good player, but I think 20 million is fair. And also with Lorenzen of Werder Bremen, this guy is what I believe is 74 overall, and the other striker we're going in for Lorenzen and Zola. Lorenzen is 74 and Zola is 77. Of course, I can check their overalls because I'm Germany manager, and yeah, Zola is the more logical replacement, signing, even though Lorenzen is younger. Zola's the more logical one to sign, because of course we won't have the time to develop Lorenzen. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And also as well, I put a new bid for Ozil of Arsenal. But as you can see, he's valued at 27.5 million. We've got 28 to spend, and I can't see us putting the deal off. I'd like to sign Ozil. I'm a massive fan of him, and you know, a lot of people think he's overrated. I disagree, but I don't think it's going to happen. We put in a bid for Sebastian Rudder as well, because I've wanted this guy since the first season, and we've never been able to sign him, unfortunately. But now I think we should be able to. I mean, we've got the money, and we've got the time as well. We'll have to wait and see though. But it was time for transfer deadline day. Time for transfer deadline day, one of the funnest days of career mode. Well, if you're a watcher of career mode series, it's always fun to see what the YouTubers do on transfer deadline day. And of course, as I said, we're in the market for one new striker, Zola or Lorenzen, and also Draxler as well. So I was very pleased to see all three clubs, Barcelona, Werder Bremen and Kaiserslautern, had all accepted the bids we put in for these players. With Barcelona, they accepted a £20 million deal for Draxler, so we go ahead and offer him a contract, and we shall wait and see whether the 23-year-old will sign with us. And also Werder Bremen accepted accepted a bid for Lorenzen at 2.5 million, and Kaiserslautern accepted a 4.2 million pound bid for Zola. But like I said, it's more logical to sign Zola, even though he's more expensive, because he is free ratings overall better. And of course, we won't really have the time to develop Lorenzen, even though he does look like he could be a really good striker for the future. We won't have the time to develop him, and it seems pretty pointless. But still, Arsenal wanted 38 million for Ozil, which isn't going to happen, obviously. And also Sebastian Rode. Frankfurt weren't happy with the bid, so we put in a new one, and we wait and see whether they'll accept £5 million, which I don't think they will, but we'll have to wait and see. And with Sebastian Rode, again, we don't need him, of course we don't, but it would still be nice to sign him just for cover, because our CM area is good, but other than the bench player Omre Chan, we've only got Zelalem in the reserve, so another good CM. Oh, and Leitner as well, who we signed, but another good CM would be good for us. But anyway, Draxler comes in, he accepts his contract, as does Lorenzen. With Lorenzen, we stalled it because we're waiting for Zola to accept his contract, because of course he declined the first one, so we go ahead and offer him a new one, and we'll wait and see whether he likes the new suggested terms of squad rotation status, 4-year deal on 35 grand a week, because he will be a third choice striker at the end of the day, but we'll have to wait and see. But here's Draxler, 85 overall. He's just an absolute monster. I mean, you guys, if you watch my PS4 career mode, you would have seen me be in awe of Draxler when he first came in, and he looks just as good here. Unbelievably good stats, looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm glad Draxler's in. Where he'll play, I have no idea, but it's still good to sign him, isn't it? Also put in a new bid for Sebastian Rode. Can't see it happening, but we put in a bid of £5.5 million, and we'll wait and see whether we can get him. And also Zola accepts his contract, so it was a choice between Zola and also Lorenzen. Whoever we signed, I wouldn't really mind too much, but of course Lorenzen was going to be £2 million cheaper, or almost £2 million cheaper, but Zola's the better striker, and I thought, you know what, Zola's quicker as well. Like, Lorenzen is the type of striker who's, I guess he's like a worse version of Lasoga, because he's 6'2", he's quite strong, good finisher, but not very quick, whereas Zola is really quick. He's very, very quick indeed. You'll see his stats here. His best stats really are his pace, as you can see, 5'10", 3-star skills and weak foot, and you can see his pace here. He's got 91 for both acceleration and sprint speed, 81 finishing, and good agility as well. So that's why I thought I'd sign Zola, and he can play left mid as well. So Zola comes in, and I'm pleased with that deal. And again, he'll be our third choice striker. Yashil will be on the bench. Zola will be in the reserves with Dukes and Advijay, but he's there now, and that's okay. But a big game for Neuer. Valencia wanted him for £12 million, and I just started laughing. And also Frankfurt said they wanted £7 million for Sebastian Rode, which of course we can't afford now. We've only got about £3 million to spend. So I thought, do you know what I'll do? I'll offer Frankfurt one of our players, and I decided to give them Herman. And you're probably sitting there thinking, why Herman? Herman's a really good player. Herman, the German, he's a really good player, but he's maxed out at 79 now. He's not growing. Serge Gnabry is about to hit 80, or he might have already hit 80 now, to be honest. And Herman's not going to get into the side very often. We've got players like, we just signed Draxler as well, who is a wide player by trade on the game. He's registered as a left midfielder. We've got Werner, we've got Gnabry, we've got a lot of players on the wide areas. We don't really need him anymore. So I thought I'll give Frankfurt Herman as we put in a new bid for Sebastian Rode. If we don't get him, I don't really mind, but if we do, that's okay with me. I just thought, why not try and make one more signing? And as you can see, they did accept a deal of £2.8 million plus Patrick Herman, which, again, maybe it's an overspend, and if that's the case, sorry, I guess, but at the end of the day, I'm really not that bothered, because Herman is maxed out at 79, he's not going to go higher than that, whereas Sebastian Rode is an 81 overall central defensive midfielder who is really, really underrated on this game. I think you will look at his stats as well in just a minute, and you'll see why I really wanted to get the guy in. So he does accept his contract, which means we signed 3 players on deadline day. That must be a new record for me. And as you can see, Rode comes in for £2.8 million plus Herman. You'll see his stats. I think he's very, very underrated as a defensive midfielder. High work rates, which you guys I know that I love. High work rates, 90 stamina, and really good mental stats. And his skill stats are very well rounded as well. So I think he's a really decent player. Engine speciality, which I love. And I'm pleased Rode comes in. Again, maybe an overspend. Maybe it wasn't necessary. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I think it's a good deal personally. I don't think we were ever going to use Herman very often anymore. Whereas Rode will probably play a lot of our cup games. So that does indeed end transfer deadline day. We made 3 signings throughout the entire transfer window as well. You can see we ended up spending, I think it was £75 million, okay, 74.5 million, and we got £20 million for William Carvalho. He was the only player we actually properly sold, and we spent £74.5 million on that in that window. We brought in loads of players. The big movers were Lewandowski to Chelsea for 40 million, Rodriguez to Bayern Munich for 35 million, and someone went to Real Madrid, I think it was there. I couldn't get to see it in time, but still, there were some big movers, and the transfer negotiations, a full list of what happened during this window for us. We saw Sebastian Roda come in, we saw Fulham come in, Boateng come in, Leitner come in, Baum Johan come in on loan, Zola come in, and Draxler come in, and we also sold William Carvalho and saw Mukhtar and Austin Ali leave on loan, and also Herman went to Frankfurt as part of the Sebastian Roda deal. Not Frankfurt. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, because that's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And now I'm going to go get my breath back, because that took a lot out of me.